This is arguably the most important module in this entire training because it covers a proprietary report that we use in every single SEO campaign that we run. It's called the Website Quality Audit, and in this video, I'm going to run you through the what, the why, and the use cases of this critical report. So within the 5 phases, this is the first part of the improvement campaign. So within the 5 phases of our SEO framework, this falls under improving. It's the first module within this phase. There are 5 modules within phase 2, the improving process. Obviously, we're going to be talking about 2.1, which is the website quality audit. I'm going to jump right in and talk about website quality audit. We're going to talk about what it is and why it's so important. We're going to talk about the exact inputs that we put into the report and how we analyze them. And we're going to talk about the outputs and how it impacts your campaign going forward. I mentioned this is something that we run for every SEO campaign that we do. It's essentially our Swiss Army knife because it drives so much output for our campaigns. In the use cases for it, it can be a technical audit, it can be a content audit, it can be a guide to better link building. I'm going to talk about all that a little bit more, but first we need to talk about what website quality is. In today's algorithm, Google is going to send traffic to a website that they deem as high quality, and that can mean a number of things. To name a few, it means websites that are technically sound, coded properly, structured properly according to webmaster guidelines, sites that are popular, i.e. getting mentioned across the web through links, social mentions, shares, PR, things along that nature, and sites that satisfy searcher intent through relevant quality and content, obviously much more. So why does website quality matter? Because in a nutshell, having low quality pages or a site that Google deems as low quality will lose the trust in your website. You're going to have a decreased crawl, decreased indexation, and overall you're just going to lose traffic. The good news is we can assess and understand the quality of your website by looking at a lot of different data inputs, things like inbound links, page titles, the depth of your content, the quality of your content, the shares on social media, the number of sales, how much traffic you're getting, keyword rankings, and a lot more things too. And just quickly, you're linked up here on the side. This is not something that I came up with. Website quality is a major topic in the industry right now, and pretty much every single authority expert on SEO will agree. And I've linked up to some important articles that you should review too to help you understand better what website quality is and really why it's important. But for all these reasons, we developed this website quality audit. Essentially what it does is scrapes all the URLs in your website and it crosswalks them against all that data that I just mentioned to help us understand the overall quality of a website. But more importantly, this report has evolved into something that's a key decision maker that allows us to look at every single page on a website and understand the value of each page to that given website and what action we want to take on that page to improve it. So let's talk a little bit more about exactly what the website quality audit does. First things first, whenever you're starting an SEO campaign, you're probably going to want to run a full crawl of the website. We actually folded that into this audit because it's a core, again, of every single SEO campaign. You need to understand every single page on a website in order to work. So the template, it then takes that crawl and it crosswalks each page on your website with critical SEO data. So we look at links data, keyword rankings, traffic, conversions, word count, page titles, SERP impressions, and a lot more, which I'll talk about in a second. It analyzes the performance of each page on your website in regards to quality. So again, as I mentioned, imagine a full crawl from your favorite provider that then looks at a lot of different data that's all customizable based on your campaign. That's essentially what this website quality audit does. But most importantly, it helps us make a decision about what to do with every page on a website. So you can see the screenshot to the right where it says URL action. We develop these URL actions to help us understand and help us to build out a proper SEO action plan at the URL level. And these decisions and URL actions can help us do a number of things. They can help us to clean up or prune low value pages. So if we want a 301 redirect, canonicalize, block the crawl, no index it, delete it, whatever it is, we can assign that to each page on the website. We can add SEO directives, no index, canonical. I know I just said that it's cleanup, but technically they're in the same bucket. And it helps us to perform more SEO actions. For example, if we want to do further keyword research on a page, if we want to build links to that page, if we want to look at the on page of that page, we can tag it here and push that to the next stage in the campaign. So what exactly goes in the website quality audit? Well, we go through and we scrape your XML sitemaps. We add this into the report and it helps us ping against the crawl to see if those pages are within your sitemap or not. As I mentioned, we get a full website crawl. The report defaults to Screaming Frogs, but you can hack together a number of different options. Our agency actually uses Sitebulb, but you can also use Deep Crawl if you want, whatever you're comfortable with. We just default to Screaming Frog because it's free and it's probably and the reason why we do this is because your sitemap will only return the URLs that included. A crawl will pull back every single URL and other files as well on a website to help us discover error pages that we might not even know existed. It then also takes a lot of extra data that we'll pull through as well, like page title, meta description, H1, word count, canonical link element, status code, whether it's 200, 404, etc., and index or no index direct. We also pull in Ahrefs links. We only pull in followed links. And as you're well aware, links are one of the top rank factors. We need to understand how many links each page on your website has. And to do so, again, we just pull it from Ahrefs, which I'll show you how to do in the next couple of videos. We use SEMrush to get the keyword rankings of every page. We pull through a number of different keyword rankings, which I'll show you in a second, but this lets us know right away if that page has organic value to your business, and more importantly, if it does not. Of course, we pull through Google Analytics data. We get a lot of data from here. We get sessions over the last 12 months, sales over the last 12 months, goal conversions, and then we do an actual conversion in here to tell you if that page is losing traffic over that time period. Finally, we pull through Google Search Console data, and this actually just opened up their API to give us 16 months worth of data. So we now get SERP impressions, clicks, and click-through rate from Google over the last 360 days, which is really, really important. And I'll walk you through a number of analyses throughout this module. After we get all this data, we crosswalk it. So we could have built this tool on a server, put it with a nice clean UI, and sold it as a front-facing tool, but the fact is, as SEOs, pretty much everything that we do ends up in Excel anyways, and Google Sheets has a lot of different value props for using it as a tool. This output is pre-formatted for you to just take action right into the report, no necessity to download, reformat, etc., etc. The output is exactly as you needed to do actual work on an SEO campaign. No reason to reformat, just take it and go. Also, if you wanted to customize this, or as we continue to build on this tool, because you might be watching this 2 years from now and this tool is going to be, I promise you, completely different, because this is something that we improve on really day over day and make tweaks to it, because Google Sheets is agile. It's not like editing a piece of software we have to do phased rollouts. We can make changes within a matter of minutes. And the tool pulls in data from so many different sources that no other tool can really do because of the limitations of those APIs. We're just getting things in spreadsheet format, using the power of Excel to aggregate it all. Importantly, what you're left with is an itemized list of every single URL on a website with the SEO data that you need to make an educated decision about what to do with every single page on a website. And I keep emphasizing that because it's so important to have a report that covers every page on a website. Nothing else does this, or nothing else goes into the level of depth that this report does. So what comes out of this audit? Well, number one, like I said, you get a ton of valuable data and insights. When you're working on a new website, especially if you're an agency, you really have no context for that website. Looking at this report, once you get a feel for how to run and analyze it, helps you and your team get up to speed super fast. It gives you page level classification, so we're going to understand what type of page every single URL on a website is, and it gives us page level actions. I touched on those URL actions. We're going to talk about those in detail in this module, but again, we know exactly how to treat every page on a new website. And finally, most importantly to me, it gives us a clear path to SEO success. You can use this report in so many different facets. We use it as a content audit. Sometimes we use it as a technical audit, depending on the size of the website. Sometimes we use it as an SEO strategy. Sometimes we use it as a pitch tool. But for the context of this training, what this tool does, it really gives us the starting plot points for every other SEO tactic that we're going to use. Things like keyword research, on page. We do something called target page assignment. We do link building. It all starts with this report. So to give you some context, let's take a quick look at the report. What you're looking at here is the front end, if you will. This tells you exactly how to execute it. And again, I have a video right after this. We'll show you step by step how to execute it. But this makes it easy to pass it off to someone offshore, an intern, whoever you have internally to run this report for you. It takes only about 15 minutes to actually populate. But this is what the front end looks like. These other tabs down here, sitemap, CSV import, Google Analytics, Search Console, these are where you're going to end up dumping and pulling in data from these data sources. What I want to show you though is the aggregation tab. So after the report is fully run, everything is going to be pulled in here, and there's a number of sections that we're going to fill in, which we're going to talk about. The URL actions, you can see some of the ones that we have pre-programmed in here. You've got the URL. The final URL is a place where we can change this URL. So for example, if we wanted to redirect this page, what we do is we select 301 redirect, and then we put in the final URL here that we wanted to go to. So after we go through and build our list of redirects, we have a list here that we can just send to a developer. It makes things really easy. This is just the abbreviated page path here. These all have formulas in. This is the categories, which we'll talk about in a coming video that shows you how to classify pages on a website. You've got the indexation here. Is it in sitemap? And you can see up here in row column 2, column 2, whatever it is. This is the data source, right? So this is telling you where it's coming from. Again, like I said, we've got all this keyword data here from SEMrush. We've got all this impression data here from GA. We got the page performance from GA, GSC, both of them combining here to give you an analytics view of that page's quality. We've got on-page data in here from Screaming Frog or whatever crawler you choose to use. It tells us what type that page is, the title, meta description, H1, the canonical link, the word count of the page, and the status code, and then if it's indexed or not indexed. So I know that was a blazing fast overview of the report. But in the coming sections, what we're going to be talking about is everything you need to know about how to run, analyze, and present this website quality audit And I'm going to be covering this throughout 6 sub-processes. I'm going to be giving you a ton of use cases along the way so you can see examples of how this works. And I'm even going to throw in some bonus videos here that have things like how to communicate this to a client, how to visualize this and send this to a client, and some troubleshooting tips as well. So I will see y'all in the next video.